Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Today we will continue on our topic 4.4 ratios, rates and proportions. Before we move on, let's recall what we have learned so far. The first topic is ratios, that you have two quantities or three, which is same unit. Same unit here is your keyword for ratios. You are comparing two quantities or three quantities that have the same units. Second topic is rates. What are rates? Rates are two quantities, always two quantities, but with different units. So different units here is your keyword for rates. For example, here we have 60 km per hour. Different units, kilometer and hour, or 100 km per hour. Different rates you have in your daily life. That I can give you one example is price. RM 5 ringgit per kilogram. Okay, two different units, RM and kilogram, that you can write in proportion, fraction form. And our third topic is proportion. What is proportion? Proportions are equality or equation between two ratios or rates that are equal, meaning we need to have equal sign. Left hand side must always equal to your right hand side. This one is ratios. 3/4 is equal to 9/12. Same goes to our rates. 60 km per hour is equal to 120 km per 2 hours. So combining these three subtopics, ratios, rates and proportions, we are going to do some calculations, solving problems, finding a value, given another value. So in topic 4.4 today is all about calculating your ratios, your rates, your proportions in different method. Okay, so we have 4 learning standards in 4.4 that you can read here, or you can have these learning standards in your textbook. So all I can summarize, these 4 learning standards are calculating. It's all about calculating. Calculating ratios, calculating rates. So we are focusing on how can we calculate a ratios or rates or proportion, or combining those trees in a question given. So let's move on to our question. These questions are from your module Conquer, page 19. Determine the ratios given. Determine the ratios of three quantities, or given 2 or more. So how can we solve this kind of question? We must compare. We need to compare. Given here you have two ratios, A to B, B to C, and A to C, and you need to find the combining value A to B to C. First thing first, we need to compare lah. We must make sure A, B, C, are they different or are they the same? So let's look here. You have A is 5, and given here also A is 5. And you have here C is 8, and also the same for this one, C is 8. So the values are the same for each column. So we can just copying the same value for B as well. So given here B is 4, so 4 for this column, and combining those three value, A is 5, B is 4, and C is 8. Next question. Again, we need to compare. A is 3, B is 10, C is 5, A is 3, and C is 5. So here A is 3, also the same in your first column, A is 3. C is 5, also the same in your second column, C is 5. So again, we just copying the same value for B. So B is 10. And combining those three values, 3 for A, B is 10, and C is 5. What about question 3? 3 here is A is 14, And given here, A is 14, B is 12, and C is 7. So we have the same value for A. Again, we just copying the same value for B and C. 12, B to C is 12 to 7, A to C is 14 to 7. Although it may seem simple, straightforward, but you must make sure you don't swap the value. This one is A to C. You don't write 7 to 14. It is wrong. Okay. So here you just need to practice how can you compare each value correctly. Okay. Next, what happened to our next set of questions? So this one is second learning standard, sorry. Given ratio A to B to C is 4 to 7 and you have value B is 4. Okay, again, you need to compare. Given value B is 4, but in your ratio B is 2. So it is not the same, meaning we have calculation involved. What is your calculation? It is multiplication. 2 times 2 is 4. So from the ratio given, it is multiplying by 2. So we need to do the same for value A and value C. So for A, we must times 2, and value C, we must times 2 as well. So here A, 4 times 2 is 8, C is 7 times 2 is 14. So we have multiplication involved. What about number 5? Here we have value C is 25, compared in your ratio C is 5. Again, multiplication involved, which is times by 5. So your A must times by 5 as well. 2 times 5 is 10. And your B must times by 5. 1 times 5 is 5. Okay, this one is B. This one is A. Question 6. Are there multiplication involved? Given value C is 8. In your ratio C is 4. Again, it is multiplied by 2. 4 times 2 is 8. We must do the same for A and B. A is 3.5 times 2 is 7. B is 1.5 times 2 is 3. So, that's the difference between question 1, 2, 3 previously and this question. We have multiplication involved. But the same method is, the same step of calculation is, we must compare the value first. From ratio to the real value, we must compare those two. And only then we can determine whether we have to multiply or whether we have to divide. Next question. Here we have a ratio given, 8 to 5 is equal to x to 40. This kind of question we have multiple methods that you can use. I will show you one by one. The first method that you can use is by using arrows or unitary method. What I mean by unitary method is, from 8 here, it is going to x. From 5 here, it is the relative value. 5 is 40. From 5 to 40, we can see it involves a multiplication. 5 times 8. 5 times x is 40. So, how can we find x? Use the same calculation. X is 8 times 8 is equal to 64. That is unitary method. You are comparing or you are using arrows. Second method, you can use using proportion. Write down the ratios in fraction form. Must be in relative value lah. 3.6 is x and 6 is 36. So cross multiplication. Cross multiplication is you Down here you times with the above value, and down on your left hand side times with your above right hand side. So 3.6 times 36 is equal to 6 times x. 3.6 times 36 is 129.6 is equal to 6x. So your x is 129.6 divided 6. So your answer is 21.6. So what about number 9? Again, you can use arrow or you can use proportion method. I like to use proportion method. 48 over x is equal to 1 over 2 over 3. Cross multiplication, 48 times 3 is equal to 1 over 2 times x. 48 times 3 is 144 is equal to x over 2. So your x is 144 times 2. That is 228. So next, third learning standard. Determine the value related to a rate. Different from previous question. Here you have ratios given and real value. That is add up. X plus y is 8. You can have multiple method, but I like to use proportion. Here you can calculate x plus y, so we get prepared with our proportion, left hand side and right hand side. X plus y is 8, we write down here, and we want to find either x or y, so it doesn't matter, so we can use x first. Okay, this one, what we need to write here is 7 plus 9, that is your ratios, 16. And your right hand side is x, so we use 9 there. Left hand side must equal to your right hand side, so cross multiplication, 9 times 8 is equal to 16 times x. 72 is equal to 16x, so your x is 72 divided 16. That is 4.5. So your y is either you want to repeat the same calculation or you can just use this information. 8 minus 4.5. That is 3.5. So that's how you use proportion method. If you don't want to use proportion method, you can always use unitary method or comparison method. For example, here we have x plus y is 55. This one is real value. This one is ratio. So we are comparing between ratios and the real value. So given real value is x plus y, so we need to compare the ratios x plus y as well. So ratios x plus y is 8 plus 3 is 11. So comparing 11 in ratios is equal to 55. So what about 1 unit of ratio is equal to 5. So our x is 3. So 3 times 5 is 15. Y is 8 times 5 is 40. So that is the second method. Okay. So what about if we have ratios of 3 quantities and given value 2 value x plus y? So again, you can always use unitary, or you can always use proportion. So here I show you proportion first. Prepared with your proportion. Always the real value here. Write down on your right hand side 45, and above, oh sorry, not that one. Sorry, not this one. Okay, let's continue with our question. Given here ratio of three values, x, y, and z, and given real value x plus y is 45. I'm using proportion method. Left hand side and right hand side. What you need to write here on your right hand side is your total. Total is your real value, x plus y plus z, and this one is 45. So your right hand side is your real value. Either it is total or the given value 45. And your left hand side, always your ratios. So if your right hand side x plus y plus z, so your ratios also the same. You write down 6 plus 3 plus 2. And your right hand side, the above value is x plus y. Same goes to your left hand side. Your ratios must be x plus y. That is 6 plus 3. So we have here 9 over 11 is equal to 45 over x plus y plus z. So cross multiplication, 9 is equal to 11 times 45. So your x plus y plus z is 11 times 45. You calculate that first, and after that you divide 9. So your answer is 55. So if you don't confident using this method, you can always use unitary method. How can you use unitary method? Here we have y plus z is 24. So in ratios, we need to compare the same method, y plus z, that is 5 plus 3, which is 8. So you are comparing ratios. 8 is 24. What about one unit of ratios? That is 3. So you want to find x plus y plus z. So in ratios, x plus y plus z is equal to 10 plus 5 plus 3, that is 18. So your real value, 18 times 3, that is 54. Let's continue on question 3. I think you can get the idea how you want to solve this kind of question. If you want to use unitary, you must make sure you are comparing the correct value. Given here, is a minus c is 18. So we need to compare the same value in ratios. Ratio a minus c is 7 minus 5, that is 2. So 2 in ratios is equal to 18 in real value. What happened if 1 unit of ratio? We have 9 unit in real value. So we need to calculate a plus b plus c in ratio. 7 plus 2 plus 5 is 14. So your real value is 14 the total ratios times the comparing value 9. That is 126. If you want to use proportion also, you can always do so. But if you use proportion, you must make sure you are writing the correct value. So here is 14 total ratio, and A minus C in ratio is 7 minus 5 is 2. So you cross multiplication, you will get the same value. A plus B plus C, 126. So here is A plus B plus C. If you want to use the comparing method, unitary method, this one, the method number 1, you must always write down what are you comparing. This one is writing down ratio. So I'm calculating the ratio and I'm comparing one ratio to the real value. So this one, A plus B plus C, is my total ratio. And only then I multiply my total ratio 14 times by my comparing value 9. So that is my answer, A plus B plus C, 126. Whatever calculation you are using, when you're writing down your calculation, you must write it down correctly, properly. So this one, I don't continue lah. You can know what to do next. So next is the same. I'm showing you proportion. Proportion here is your total, the real total, A plus B plus C, and your above value is given 100, B minus C. So your in here, B minus C is 10. Total 3 plus 12 plus 2 is 17. So cross multiplication, 17 times 100. A plus B plus C is equal to 17 times 100 over 10. So you get your answer 170. So that's how you calculate your given ratios or your given value, and you want to calculate your total value. So that is your 3 skills of calculating rates, ratio, and proportion. Next learning standard is our solving problems involving ratios, rates, and proportion. This one is real life situation. I'm giving you this task as your homework. You have 2 questions here on page 21. This one is triangle, given the ratios. And second one is about 3 types of fruits in a box, given ratios again. First thing, you must make sure you are comparing the correct value. What ratios to what value. And if you are using proportion, what value that you need to write on top of it, and what the value that you need to write below of it. Left hand side must equal to right hand side. So practice your skills in solving ratios and proportion. So we will come back to this question, page 21, on our GM this Friday, inshallah. Okay, that's all for my video today. Thank you.